binding of Isaac, the temple is now being built, with the sacrificial altar and the two pillars in front of it, Yakin and Boaz. Then said Solomon, "The Lord has said he would dwell in the thick cloud." After the death of Solomon, the unified kingdom split into two separate kingdoms, Judah and Israel. For around 200 years, the two kingdoms coexist, and in Jerusalem, the capital of Judah, kings come and kings go. Until the year 722 BCE, while King Hezekiah rules Judah, the northern kingdom of Israel is captured by the Assyrians who come from the east.
Thousands of horrified refugees escaped from the kingdom of Israel to Jerusalem. Many of them apparently settled there, on the western hill, outside the walls of the city of David.
But around 15 years after Israel is captured, the relative calm in Jerusalem is broken. Hezekiah, king of Judah, also decides to rebel against the Assyrians, and the threat comes closer and closer to Jerusalem. Hezekiah builds a thick wall around the neighborhoods on the western hill. He diverts the water from the Gihon spring to flow through a hidden tunnel in the rock into a large reservoir. The reservoir and the wall of the new city now protect the city's water sources from the enemy. As written in the Bible, why should the kings of Assyria come and find much water?
The Hezekiah Tunnel project is underway. If you listen closely, you can still hear echoes of these ancient voices. The two groups of quarrymen making their way towards each other through the thick of the rock.
And on the day that the two groups of men tunneling toward each other met, they greeted each other axe to axe. And the water flowed from the source to the pool, 1,200 cubits. Preparations for war have been completed. The Assyrians have invaded the kingdom of Judah, and Sancherib's armies are stationed on all the hills surrounding the city. Facing them, all alone, stands the prophet Isaiah. Therefore, thus says the Lord concerning the king of Assyria, he shall not come into this city, nor shoot an arrow there. By the way that he came, by the same he shall return, and shall not come into this city, says the Lord.
And what do you think happened? The Bible relates that the residents of the city woke up one day and saw that the Assyrian siege had been lifted. Jerusalem was saved.
More than a century passed until a new danger threatened the city, the Babylonians. The prophet Jeremiah prophesies that the city will be destroyed, for a city that has no justice loses its right to exist.
Jeremiah, entreats Zedekiah, the last king of Judah, to surrender to the Babylonians, but the king refuses to listen. As the Babylonians approach the city, the prophet who preached surrender finds himself imprisoned in a pit. Can you hear the Babylonian troops laying siege to the city? From here, from inside the pit, everything sounds so distant. The prophet is imprisoned, helpless, and there, up above, the city is about to be destroyed. Jerusalem is about to go up in flames, and all the water in the Gihon spring will not put the fire out.
Jerusalem was resettled in the days of the Second Temple, and then it was ruined by the Romans. For 2,000 years the city passed from hand to hand, but the Jewish people never forgot its eternal capital. Towards the end of the 19th century, when the new neighborhoods were built outside the walls of the old city, the Miyufis family was the first to build its home in the city of David. On the opposite slope, a neighborhood of Yemenite Jews was established and later abandoned. However, in the early 1990s, the Ir David Foundation reestablished a Jewish residential community in the city of David within the national park surrounding the walls of Jerusalem.
3,000 years after King David, we have returned to the hill where it all began.
Taking a walk in Ir David today is much like traveling through a magical time tunnel.
Yes, well, it's very interesting.
From here, from the ancient heart of Jerusalem, the city has expanded generation after generation. Neighborhood by neighborhood, Jerusalem is renewed as the eternal capital of the state of Israel. Boys and girls are playing in Jerusalem streets again, buildings from all eras adorning. And at its heart, one little hill stands eternal. The hill of the city of David, the place from which everything began.